Ito ang mainit na balita at trending ngayon sa mundo ng social media. Matapos ipagmalaki ng kampo ng mga Duterte na may testigo na sila laban kay Pangulong Marcos, abay heto, binunyag na ng PAOK na magsasampa na sila ng kaso laban sa mga sangkot sa Pogo at isa na nga dito si Attorney Harry Roque.
Sapagkat sa aming paniniwala ay isa po siya sa isang malaking mga pangalan na may relasyon dito sa Lucky South 99 at maaring sa iba pang mga pogos na narinig na po natin na ituturo ng ilan nating mga testigo at ilang mga dokumento na kalap na po natin. Kaya nga po person of interest po siya in preparation for the filing of appropriate charges. So 12 po yan na merong ILBO. So ang aming usapan together with the prosecutorial team is one after the other, yung as the evidence come in, magpa-file kami ng mga kaso isa-isa or sabay-sabay sa kanila. Pero meron na ho kaming mga sasampahan this week. Plus may mga natatanggap kami ngayon, may mga lumalapit na willing magtestigo, mag-provide ng testimonya. So malakas ang aming paniniwala na hindi na ito coincidence, kundi meron kaming sapat para masampahan ang mga taong ito, kasama na po si Ginoong Roque. Kaya kumbinsido na kami lahat sa grupo namin na hindi na kami maniniwala doon sa argumento niyang hindi ako abogado nung Pogo. Kami naniniwala na siya ay lawyering not only for Whirlwind but also for Lucky South 99.
Isinama din ng DOJ sa pangunguna ni SOJ Rimulya na ilagay si Roque sa immigration lookout. Kaya naman, buwelta ni attorney.
Siguro nabalitaan nyo na. Ako, ang gising ko kanina medyo hindi mabuti. Ang gising ko ay isang balita na yung pangalan ko ay isinama ng Secretary of Justice ng aking mabuting kaibigan na si Boying Rimulya sa isang immigration lookout bulletin. Dahil daw, ako daw ay isa sa mga persons of interest na iniimbestigahan pagdating sa Lucky South. Well, alam nyo po, tingin ko po ito ay isang persecution, isang panunupil. Dahil ako po ay napaka-ingay na kritiko ng gobyerno na humihingi ng kasagutan kay Presidente sa katanungang, adik ka ba? O yung pugante raw sa Baguio na bahay. Well, ano naman kinalaman ko doon? Malay ko ba na meron palang pugante siyang patitira doon sa bahay na yun? O di ba? Pero sabihin na nga natin yung pinagpipilitan nila na ako daw ay nag-abogado sa Lucky South. Ang tanong, ano ngayon? Kasalanan ba ang mag-abogado? So ano naman ang pakiramdam ko? Well, ako siyempre naiinis. Tao lang ako, no? Pilit na sinisira ang pagkatao natin dahil tayo nga po ay kritiko. Pero dahil pilit nila akong pinalalabas na ako daw ay may ginagawang illegal na wala naman, ang conclusion ko, sinisira lang nila ako dahil sa mga pinagsasabi ko ngayon. Pero habang lalo nila akong sirain, lalong malakas ang aking panawagan. Mr. President, drug addict ka ba? Baka wala ka sa tamang pag-iisip na mamuno sa ating bayan. Kung ganon, meron naman pong Vice President, pwede namang magpahinga na lang kayo at unahin ang inyong kalusugan.
When the President issued EO number 13, providing for the term online gaming for the very first time, don't you think, Attorney Roque, that the President legislated?
Again, Your Honor, I am unable to answer because that is not within my expertise. I have mentioned that my expertise is in the field of public international law, having taught and practiced that. And I am sorry because I'm not very familiar with Executive Order number 13. In fact, my only knowledge of Executive Order number 13 was in the last hearing when former Chair Domingo said that President Duterte regulated online gambling, no, through Executive Order number 13. But I am unable to give an opinion now, not being thoroughly familiar with the EO as well as the underpinnings behind the issuance of Executive Order number 13. I'm so sorry, Your Honor, it's not within my field of expertise.
With all due respect to our resource speaker, Mr. Chair, I find it strange na sa dami po ng hearing na ina-attendan niya, both in the Senate and in the Congress, all pertaining to BOGOs, he have not come across EO number 13, from which the BOGOs or the online gaming started. But I'm sure, for the next concern that I wish to raise, our resource speaker is very much familiar with, because this is fundamental in the study of law. There is in law the principle of separation of powers. And I wish to share the case of Belgica versus Ochoa, GR number 208566, November 19, 2013, on the constitutionality of the Priority Development Assistance Fund. For the information of the Filipino people, I wish to read: the principle of separation of powers refers to the constitutional demarcation of the three fundamental powers of the government. In the celebrated words of Justice Laurel Inangara versus Electoral Commission, it means that the Constitution has blocked out, with deft strokes and in bold lines, allotment of power to the executive, the legislative, and the judicial departments of the government. To the legislative branch of the government through Congress belongs the power to make laws. The executive branch of the government through the president belongs the power to enforce laws. To the judicial branch of government through the court belongs the power to interpret laws. I wish to go back to Attorney Roque. Attorney Roque, don't you think that the president encroached upon the power of the Congress when he issued Executive Order number 13 providing for online?
Well, Mr. Chair, first and foremost, I argued that case of Bellica. I was lawyer in the Supreme Court for Mr. Bellica, and I confirmed the principle of separation of powers. However, as I said, although it is not my expertise, I will give my opinion, my candid opinion. And that is, under our scheme of things, executive issuances, legislative enactments are all presumed to be constitutional unless proven otherwise. So the status of Executive Order number 13, unless challenged in court, is that it is presumed to be constitutional. Executive orders being in the nature of implementing existing legislation, Your Honors.
Mr. Chair, there's a principle in law. When the law does not provide, we should not provide. When the law does not include, we should not include. If the substantive law creating PAGCOR does not provide for online gaming, then no executive issuances should provide for online gaming. Let us all be reminded by the legal maxim, inclusio unius est exclusio alterius. Kung wala naman pong sinabi dun sa substantive law, then the procedural law should not provide. Let us be reminded that the procedural law should always yield in favor of the substantive law. Mr. Chair, I wish to invite the attention of the committee to Executive Order number 13, the presidential issuance which provides for the very first time for the term online gaming, the term that was never mentioned in the legislation that was passed by Congress. In the 8 whereas clause, it says, clarifying the extent of authority of gambling regulators, particularly with regards to online gaming. And then we have Section 3, clarification on online gambling, which technically defines what online gambling is. And then under Section 4, Mr. Chair, it emphasizes the oversight function of the Office of the President over all forms of gaming, and that includes online gaming. I humbly submit, Mr. Chair, that EO number 13 brings online gambling into life. And I do not understand, Mr. Chair, why this should circumvent the law that was passed by Congress, creating the PAGCOR and providing the authorities to regulate all the gaming and gambling activities. Once again, Mr. Chair, I wish to raise the reason why the principle of separation of powers is very important. The principle of separation of powers and its concepts of autonomy and independence stem from the notion that the powers of the government must be divided to avoid concentration of these powers in any one branch. The division, it is hoped, would avoid any single branch from lording its power over the other branches or the citizenry. To achieve this purpose, the divided power must be wielded by co-equal branches of government that are equally capable of independent action in exercising their respective mandates. Lack of independence would result in the inability of one branch of government to check the arbitrary or self-interest assertions of another or others. To wind up, Mr. Chair, I wish to state for the record that when the President issued Executive Order number 13, it is the humble submission of this representation. He legislated, he amended, he repealed the law, an act which violates the fundamental principle of separation of power. The executive should not encroach upon the power to legislate that belongs exclusively to the Congress. Thank you, Mr. Chair.